I think when we tend to look back on our lives, at least I do, I think about the years that things happen. So it's a really nice way to segment the eras of our lives. We do this by decades, we do this by years. And so mentally and our perception, it is like a new start. I do love that aspect of New Year's where you're looking ahead at the next 12 months. Even if you have to sort of like use your imagination, think of it as a blank canvas or a blank page or an empty stage, an empty screen, whatever creative mode you want to think of it as. And so you are the author of your life. Like, what's the story that's going to unfold? What is the masterpiece that you are going to create in these coming months, starting this month, starting today? And so you do get to create that story. It is unwritten as yet. And it will unfold. And this year, like all of the years of our past, are going to be a 12-month period that we were going to look back on. So I like looking at things from these different perspectives. Here we are in the present moment. We can look back on our previous eras of our life, previous years, and we can have opinions about whether there were highs or lows. And I do think that you should look back on this on 2021, and instead of just writing it off or forgetting it, to go ahead and list your accomplishments and your highlights and lessons learned. I think that's really an important thing to do. But looking ahead at this year, realize that a year from now, you're going to be looking back at this year and asking, was it a good year? Did I make the best use of my time? And that story has yet to be written. And that's what I love about this. There's this pure potential that's laying out before all of us. And what are we going to do with it? What story is going to be written? What movie are you going to write and direct? So a lot of people are resistant to goals and resolutions because they choose these monumental things, set a goal that is drastically different from where they are in their lives, and maybe it's a little bit too big of a mountain to climb. And so to me, beneficial change in your life doesn't really often come from some monumental huge goal, some huge shift. It's usually something small, a small detail in your life. So there's two aspects I'm going to ask you to think about here. One is create a new simple habit, not something that's going to be earth-shattering, that's going to rock your world or turn it upside down. All the changes in my life, the successes that I've enjoyed, which I've been blessed to experience many, came about because of some simple behavior that I shifted, some simple habit that I developed. For me, those things were like writing songs on a consistent basis. Some of them were writing blog posts and writing books and always having a book or something that I was going to create and get out into the world. YouTube videos. This channel didn't grow because I posted a couple of videos and then sat and got distracted and did something else. I dedicated myself to it. So I created a habit in my life, at least twice a week, recording, editing, uploading 2 pre-recorded videos, and then a year ago we added the new habit of streaming live every Sunday. So there's 3 pieces of content, if you will, that go on this YouTube channel. And by being consistent with that, and also me creating the new habit of paying attention and learning about YouTube and learning about titles and thumbnails and visuals and how to use my voice and recording equipment, etc., dedicating myself to that, this channel grew to the point where I'm now impacting hundreds of thousands of people around the planet every month, including many of you. And we've developed friendships, and so many benefits have come from that. The ability to support our household, just the connection, the feeling of doing something good in the world, all that came about because I developed new habits. And it didn't take, I didn't have to spend weeks or hours every day. But I just focused on it. So you have to choose, what's the thing that you want to do. Not only keep your eyes on the prize, as they say, but how is that going to translate into a simple behavior, a new habit, even if it's 10, 15, 30 minutes a day or whatever it is, whatever time you can carve out, it's got to translate into a tangible behavior, and call it a habit. It's something you do on a consistent basis. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. What's the simple behavior or new habit, simple, easy to implement into your life, but consistent, that's going to make a huge impact on a priority in your life? And the other part of that is to choose a priority. We all have interests. We all have things that we want to do, but to be able to get one of those things out into the world, you have to choose one of them and maybe focus on one primary thing at a time. And I know this is tough for some people, especially for creative people who have a lot of different interests. But those are the two things I'm going to recommend that you do in this new year to make it something that you're going to look back on and go, oh my God, I got my first book out, or I started a podcast, or my own YouTube channel, whatever that thing is for you. And that goal doesn't have to be monumental, change the world. It could be on a small level. It could be just, maybe I need to carve out more time for self-care. Maybe you need to develop a meditation practice, or you've gotten away from reading. Maybe it could be cooking more. So it doesn't have to be an earth-changing goal, but you have to decide what that priority is, what's going to benefit your life. And if it can benefit others, that's even way better. If you can tie it into something that's going to improve other people's lives. But make it specific. So choose that priority and then ask yourself, what's the habit? What do I have to put on the calendar in a doable way on a regular daily or at least weekly basis that's going to allow me to move toward making that thing happen? That's how I've accomplished everything in my life. I've been very blessed to have done a lot of cool things, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing. Now I'm going to tie this into something that's coming up. A lot of you have heard me talk about this. I just wanted to make you aware of my upcoming 30-day program called Turbocharge Your Life 2022. The theme for this one is make your passion project a priority. So if you've been running to write a book or create music or art, start a podcast or a YouTube channel, no matter what that goal is, but it's been sitting on the back burner and not getting done, this is your opportunity to focus on that project in the new year. And you won't be doing it alone. You'll be doing it with a community of like-minded people from around the world. You'll get access to 4 90-minute group Zoom calls, a private Facebook group. I supply you with affirmation recordings, with worksheets, with 2 of my ebooks, and the option to connect with a success partner. It officially kicks off on January 8th, so I encourage you to learn more about it and register now. And I hope you can join us for Turbocharge Your Life 2022.